Good evening, everyone. Hello from Newark, New Jersey. I'm Oya Tikal, Dean of Martin Tuckman School of Management. I have Somil with me. So we're going to try to do our best with the technology available to talk a little bit about our programs, our region, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. Thank you so much for spending time with us. We would like this to be a sincere conversation between us. We do have a presentation, but obviously you're welcome to let us know what you think, what your situation is, and how we can help you. Merhaba arkadaşlar, ben Oya Tükel. Prezentasyonu İngilizce yapacağım. Çünkü zamanımız kısıtlı. Somil arkadaşımla beraber okulumuzu tanıtacağız. Teknik Üniversite New Jersey'de, Newark'ta, New York'un tam karşısındayız. Ve de size yardımcı olmak için buradayız. Lütfen çekinmeden sorularınızı bize yazın. Prezentasyonun sonunda e-mailim var. Lütfen kontağa devam edin. Umarım size yardımcı olacağız bu presentation'la. Yes, I'll show you a little video about our school. This is a polytechnic university, so what that means is that we really focus on technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship. So I'm more in charge of the leadership part of, we wanted you to get a strong technical education, but at the same time, put a business context and technology, enabled applications. So that's my job. That's why I'm in the management part of NJIT. And Somil is going to talk to you a little bit about the school itself and all the technical areas we have. So I'm a graduate of Middle East Technical University a couple centuries ago. I won't tell you when. But so I ended up being a professor of supply chain in a university here because I came to US for my graduate studies. Many years passed by, around 30 years. I know many of you were not even born back then, but this has been an amazing ride for me. I enjoy being with students. We ended up doing amazing things in here as Turkish faculty. There are many of us here, and we would like to help you guys as well. We have less and less students coming here. It's just very unfortunate, but please note that we welcome you anytime and do whatever it takes to bring you here to get a good education. US is still at the top of the rankings in terms of the quality of education. We still have amazingly, resources available to our students. So please do not hesitate to consider us. And we'll be happy to give you advice and mentoring. That's very important during shopping for a school. And it's not how it looks like from where you are, what happens in here. So please, do not just get stuck in few things that is happening in the news to think that US is not for you. Believe me, when you come over here, you are like many of us. You will enjoy where you are. You will enjoy being with us and the richness of education and resources available to you. So I'll go ahead and show you a little video clip, and then I'll let Somil take over from here.
All right. Thank you so much, Dean Tuchel. Once again, my name is Somil Mehta. I'm the Assistant Director for International Recruitment here at NJIT. Merhaba, thank you so much for all joining today. I've traveled to over 50 countries recruiting students and meeting and for personal. And to be honest, Turkey is one of my favorite countries in the world, just because of the rich culture, part of 2 continents. I've had the fortunate of visiting 4 times, and I hope to visit more and more. So today I'm going to give a presentation about NJIT and our programs, quick overview, and then we will hand it over to our special guest, Dean Tuggle, for the School of Management and the great things we have at the business school as well. Caveat, I apologize in the beginning for any background noise. I do have my 20-month-old son in the back, so just in case, please, thank you so much for your understanding during these times. So NJIT was initially founded as the Newark Technical School. We are Polytechnic Public Research University, so that means that the state of New Jersey provides over $100 million annually to the university to make sure we have state-of-the-art laboratory space, research equipment for our faculty and our students. We are located in Newark, New Jersey, New Jersey's largest city. We offer over 125 degree programs, over 105 research centers and labs. We are a mid-sized university with about 11,400 students, of which 1,800 international students. So we do have a substantial amount of international students, and the student to faculty ratio is very good at 17:1. We are also Division I sports, for those of you that are interested in sports, and we have over 140 clubs and organizations. Just some of our rankings. We are proud to say we are in the top 10% of universities worldwide by QS World Rankings, number 74 in the US and number 3 in New Jersey. Another one I want to point out is we have the highest research rating by Carnegie Classification of R1. That speaks highly of our faculty and staff and our research space and our students for the amazing research they get into. We are top 2% nationally for return on investment. Our tuition is very affordable for our location, and the outcome is simply amazing for our students. Our location, if you don't know, we are 20 minutes from New York City, so definitely a hotspot if you're coming from big cities in Turkey, because a lot of our students like to be close to the big city, but you get the college campus atmosphere at NJIT. We are also 1.5 hours from Philadelphia, about 4.5 hours from Washington, D.C., another 4.5 hours from Boston. So our location is premier as far as the major East Coast cities. As already mentioned, where we're located, we are also home to 30,000 students in our area. As I mentioned, 11,400 at NJIT, but the other area colleges and universities make up the other 20,000+. So we are a college-friendly town, close to the big city. We are also only 8 kilometers from Newark International Airport, so direct flights to Istanbul and Ankara, for example, and other parts of the world and the US. Also, we have a light rail stop right on campus, making it easy to get to any part of New Jersey or New York if you're living off campus. Here at NJIT, we are comprised of various academic colleges, the Martin Tuckman School of Management, the Inglewood College of Computing, the Newark College of Engineering, the College of Architecture and Design, the College of Science and Liberal Arts, and at the undergrad level, the Albert Dorman Honors College. I'm just going to quickly go through this. You can check out the programs that we offer at the undergrad and the graduate level. As you can see, undergrad, architecture, digital design, for example, graduate, architecture and urban systems. I will tell you the unique thing about our architecture school, we are one of only 2 universities, one of 2 architecture schools in New Jersey that's accredited. And that accreditation is very important when you look at architecture programs, for example. The College of Science and Liberal Arts, some of the popular undergrad programs, including biochemistry, biology, chemistry, to name a few. Our graduate programs, again, applied math, material science, environmental engineering are popular ones. And our one of our wonderful programs, the Martin Tuckman School of Management. As you can see at our undergrad majors, business, traditional business, finance, one of our unique programs, financial technology, which is a hot field right now. And our graduate programs, the MS Management, the MBA, and the PhD Business Data Science, where you can focus on other concentrations within those degrees. I will tell you, as you probably are aware, and Dean Turkle will go more into detail about this, but I just want to say that many universities have a business school. The unique thing about our business school, the power of STEM, we really shine ahead with what opportunities our students get. If you know Bloomberg, our students get access to Bloomberg terminals to feel what it feels like to be on the trading floor. They get access to CRM systems such as Salesforce. This being said, our students are high demand when they graduate. Employers offering them 6-digit figures. So we really are focused in our analytics, and for that right person, in today's business world, you have to learn some technology as well. So that is our unique thing about our business program. Also, our MS management and some other programs eventually is a STEM eligible degree as well, which is rare in the US. Okay, so that is very important for, I know, our international students, because you get that OPT as well. Oops. Sorry. Our career developments. Did I miss one? I think I'm sorry about that. Too far. Okay, yeah. The Ingu College of Computing, some of our popular ones being computer science, human-computer interaction, to name a few. At the graduate level, computer science, data science are hot fields, business information systems as well. And at the undergrad level, the Albert Dorman Honors College, we are on the common application. So when you apply, you will have, if you're interested in being considered, you would mark interested in the Honors College. These are students, they're looking for over 1,500 SATs, 4.0 GPAs. They could offer additional merit-based scholarships besides any merit from admissions, Honors College residence housing, smaller classes as well. So our requirements as a freshman, generally we're looking for a 3.0 out of 4.0 scale, the IELTS of 6.0, the TOEFL of 79, the Duolingo of 100, or the SAT reading writing section of 500 or higher. Starting in fall 2021 and spring 2022, the SAT will be optional. That being said, you would still need one of the English proficiency exam results. And if you did have a very high SAT score, definitely we encourage you to submit it, as you may be availed for any additional scholarships, and it is required for the Honors College. So if you are interested in honors and have that profile, then you would still need it. Your official transcripts that you've attended, recommendation letter, and a portfolio submission online if you're interested in any of our architecture programs. I'm not sure if we have any transfers, but quickly, if you're transferring from another university, generally we're looking for a 2.0 out of 4.0 GPA, English proficiency exam, your transcripts, a transcript evaluation, and either chemistry or physics, calculus as well. And for the grad students, those of you interested in graduate admissions, we are looking at the GRE, the GMAT for the business programs. If you're looking for this, still looking for spring 2021, we are still taking applications. We are rolling admissions. Definitely encourage you to apply. We are looking at GRE waivers for this spring, given the situation and the timing. So that's the benefit. You would need the TOEFL or the IELTS or the Duolingo. Your transcripts, 1 letter of recommendation, 3 for PhD. Let me backtrack. The GRE, unfortunately, cannot be waived to our PhD applicants if there are any out there. So it would be required for PhD at this point. Okay. These are our application deadlines. We are rolling admission, but as I mentioned, these are our preferred deadlines. These are the I-20 amounts. So when you request the I-20 after being admitted, you would need to show at least a little over 55,000 for both of these, undergrad and grad. Tuition at the undergrad level is about 33,000 a year, and graduate about 33 as well. Just to give you an idea. Room and board, you are not required to live on campus. However, freshman year, we do recommend it, at least the first year. We have one of the largest career fairs in the area universities with over 550 employers coming to campus twice a year in the fall and spring. So they're there to help you with resume writing, cover letter writing, interviewing techniques as well. campus life, again, get involved in campus life outside the classroom. Our students have access to academic clubs, cultural clubs, if you want to start your own clubs. So we have a very global and international community on campus that our students spread the culture to our domestic students as well. Okay, so hopefully that gave you a quick overview. I think the slides are getting a little slow, but again, we're on the Common App for undergrad, and then at the graduate level, you would apply directly online, submit all your application documents, upload them online, which is great for review purposes, and there is our apply link as well. And, you know, if you have any questions, we'll put our contact information here in the chat box. And if you are interested in applying, please do reach out to us. We're more than happy. We can, you know, waive your application fee as well. Okay. And I will pass it on to Dean Tokol to go over the management school and the great things going on there. Thank you so much.
Somil, thank you so much. So I'm going to try to find my slides here. So when I go to application view, I mean, the slides are supposed to be coming up, right?
Yes.
So let's.
I think she said. I think it's under window.
So I think Somil did an amazing job regarding what's going on in here, our school. So I want to focus on and try to answer as many questions as you might have regarding, how the school operates. I did see a lot of you are asking questions about financial support. There is a sticker price, right? Like you see 55,000. Oh my God, like especially right now, if you look at the conversion rate dollar to Turkish lira, it's just an amazing amount of money. It's some of you are saying probably this is beyond my reach. But I'll give you some suggestions. We cannot reduce the cost to zero to you. Unfortunately, as you know, American schools are pretty much operated with very small support from the states, and a lot of it is tuition that makes the schools run. Any kind of technology school you're interested in going, all the way from, we're in the club where MIT is, right? Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Rochester Institute of Technology, California Polytechnic. Those schools are expensive schools. It's just because the, amount of labs, maker spaces, the data science related, licensing that we purchase, collaboration with the companies to be able to provide the higher level learning, and not to mention that we are an R1 institute. What that means is a Carnegie classified #1 institute that puts, I think, around 139 only schools. That is a high research focused school. We're one of those. That really makes the operations expensive. But the results are accordingly. So, return on investment from a business background, I have to say, you have to look at it, what you are investing and what the results are going to be for you. The bigger question is that what support we can provide to you to be able to bring you over here. Some of our students, for the graduate students coming here, they usually take a break between undergraduate and graduate. They go work for a few years back in their countries. They save some money. They come back and pick an area where they might be interested to learn more, with the intention of staying here with a co-op or an internship opportunity with the STEM areas that internship can be as long as, or the co-op can be as long as 3 years. So, and they successfully transition from a co-op to a full-time job if you show how good you are. Regardless of what is being said about H-1Bs are changing, and you hear all sorts of things about, foreign student unfriendly environment in US. It really is not like that. We put a lot of effort to make it easier for you to come here. So we still have nothing that can prevent you coming here for education. Nothing can prevent companies and you to find a job. They might put, you know, wrinkles in front of us, but it doesn't really, you know, there is a law is a law. So you have a right to do your, you know, internship here. You have a right to look for a job in here. There is a legal status, which is your work status, that transition from an F status, F visa, to an H-1B visa. And those are all in here. They're still available. Maybe it's not how it used to be when I came here in 1990s. Back in the days, I have to say, when I apply for jobs and when I applied work permit to work here, I actually didn't have an interest staying here. I was planning to go back to Turkey, but, you know, I really like the academic environment here. It's just because there are many resources available. It wasn't the case in 1990s back in Turkey. And I did accomplish quite a bit of things here because of that. So I really kind of enjoyed my job and the resources that was available to me. And back then, all I did is, believe it or not, fill out a couple forms at home, send it over to the embassy in Chicago, and then send some documents to the Department of Labor. They send me a work permit that was extendable 6 years during that time period. It was difficult traveling to conferences with my Turkish passport, so I ended up, you know, applying for a green card so that I can easily go in and out. I wanted to do my sabbatical, and all of those were much difficult living in US, carrying a Turkish passport. So I ended up getting my green card, and then life got much easier. But these things were very easy. It's still doable. A lot of people are doing it. So they're, you know, don't be discouraged. If this is a plan for you, if this is what you're planning, it's worth trying. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to try to pull my slides again. And I don't know, Burçe, if you can help me with that. So I'm going to share a screen. I thought that my slides are open and back there, but I'm seeing why they're not.
PowerPoint dosyanızı kapatıp tekrar açabilir misiniz rica etsem?
PowerPoint'leri mi?
Evet.
Okay. All right. See, this is the COVID era technical difficulties. You know, back in the days when the TV had technical difficulties, they used to put this music and said, technical difficulties, hanging in there, the movie is coming back. So I'm just going to try to do this one more time. Let me open this again. But I will give you my sincere advice throughout this presentation, you know, how you can make this possible. And we have limited time. So I will, you know, I did shared my email in the chat box. So just don't hesitate to contact me. I'll be very happy to help you answer any questions you might have specific to your situation. So everybody is different. Everybody's background is different. Okay, so let's try to share my screen again. So unfortunately, it is not coming. So I'll go through some of the material in my slides. Those are all actually things that you can listen. There wasn't much of visuals anyway. So for the sake of time, I'll just go ahead and show those.
Application window seçeneği ya da entire screen seçeneği altında görebilirsiniz.
Okay. So your entire screen is actually my screen that shows B. Just kind of gets stuck somewhere. Okay, so, and I'll be happy to share these slides, whoever wants to go over it. So I'm just going to, you know, I think you can see me at least. So that's the good thing. I'm going to just go ahead and do my slides, hiding them from you. Okay, so as Somil was mentioning, you know, schools do try very hard to get ranked, right? And you probably hear that from all sorts of schools that you are right now trying to apply or you are interested in applying. The rankings go this way. There are two very important things they look at. One is that, you know, these like US World News and Report, Princeton Review, they all come up with like top 100 schools. So what makes a school go in there depends on two things. One is faculty. The other one is what happened to the students. So if we add a value to you, in the end of the day, you should be finding a good job. So are we making an impact to the society by educating students for the jobs out there? So if we are doing a good job with that, you get ranked. And the other thing that they look at is what is going on the campus during the education process. Who is in the classroom and what kind of resources we offer to the students. So some schools excel in their international studies programs and they take you all over the world. That is included in the tuition. So that's their strength. Some schools are extremely good with, you know, social sciences where, you know, you learn a lot about community service, you know, how to help the poor, and they excel in that. So NJIT belongs to the polytechnic or technical universities where every dime we have available, we invest in the technology. So obviously, you know, technology comes with, you know, business understanding as well. That's why they were very big on having a management school as part of the Polytechnic University. The faculty matters a lot. So who is in the classroom? And unfortunately, I see many of you are looking at only a few things like the price and, you know, do you have a friend there? How does the faculty, you know, the campus looks like? You know, in United States, you know, students pay attention to football, you know, American football, which schools do have big, you know, teams. You know, that's not what you're going to put it in your resume. So you have to be selfish. You know, when you put this kind of an investment, what is in it for you? So how green the grass is, how beautiful the buildings doesn't mean anything. None of that matters. In the end, how much learning and, you know, understanding and experience you did receive when you attended that school. So, you know, where did they spend the money and how much attention they had towards you? Are you one of 200,000 students attending? Some campuses are extremely large. If you ever came and look at some of the, you know, big schools, state schools where the, you know, the student enrollment is 50,000, it's huge. You will be lost in that crowd. Big campuses, you know, do have big auditoriums. You know, the faculty have a whole bunch of teaching assistants who do the classes, you know, so, and I did go to one of those, you know, I do know the challenges. So you have to really pick something that's reasonably sized. It's just because the amount of resources available to you will go up that way. So I'm saying this because when you are shopping, those matters. And I don't see students looking at faculty qualifications either up until the PhD level, which is, you know, not good. You have to go into every website, every school that you're interested in attending, look to see who the faculty are, what kind of schools they graduated from, how many articles and publications they have, are they the expertise in the field? That's the key word, right? You wanted to learn from the best person. So a math class should not be taught by a faculty who is not a math, you know, major, who graduated with a math advanced, you know, PhD or, you know, statistics. So that matters, you know. Do you see the same faculty teaching you an accounting and a finance and a human resources? There's something wrong with that because you can't be an expert in all these different fields. So look at those to make your decision. That's very important. So based on these criteria, we got ranked because a technical school, obviously, one of the top 54 this year. They just announced it a couple weeks ago. So we're number 54 in the nation in terms of the public schools as NJIT. So MTSM applies for rankings as well because we really truly believe in the quality of the faculty and the success of our students. And I'll give you some numbers there. And we are within the top 130 schools. We are a small school, but we're a good school. And it's okay to be small. Not every school wants to grow exponentially and lose their focus. We don't want to be one of those. NJIT's focus is smaller. We have around 10,000 students here, but we do have labs that anybody can use in a state-of-the-art setting. And I wish that you would come and visit our campus so we can show you around. And our entrepreneurship program, because again, it makes sense, right? Technology development in other areas in engineering and computing, and that emphasis plus our students' interest in learning management and entrepreneurial activities. So we have a lot of resources around building your company, getting patents, getting, applying to start your business, developing a business plan. So we have quite a bit of resources available around entrepreneurship. When these like US World News and Princeton looks at a school, they say, so what do you do with the students? So we have probably over 10 different pitch competitions going on at any point in time for students to pitch their ideas to get funding. We have a lot of awards in cash prizes that we give to students when they start their businesses. So that help is there to start the businesses. And we see quite a bit of students. I do have like some numbers, for example, 6 new companies starting in the last 5 years that survived. Actually, not starting a company is one thing, but is surviving and moving into the next stage. So we have 6 of those, and many of these are, I have to say, is a combination of different skill sets, right? The students come from business, and then they team up with a computing student who does the technical part of it, and that's a good combination. That is a good startup. So those are some of the numbers that we are proud of. That really shows where we are, and we have vision to do better, and we want you guys to be part of that as well. I'll tell you briefly the programs in the Martin Tuckman School of Management. Martin Tuckman is a person. He is still with us. His office is actually right next to mine. He doesn't come as often, but he was an entrepreneur, very successful businessman. Back in the days in 60s, 70s, he came up with a leasing option for containers, shipping containers. And as the world trade increased exponentially, he made a fortune out of a simple business, right? Leasing, shipping containers. So then he was a philanthropist. He invested in 170 businesses, and then he retired, but he's involved with the school. So he's an amazing support. He has quite a bit of scholarships for undergraduate and graduate students. He is also supporting some of the student activities. So that's the school I'm in. It's called Martin Tuckman School of Management. We do have BS degrees. We have BS in bachelor's in science. So that's another thing you should look at it. If you are going to a business school, look to see if it is a BBA or BS. BBA is Bachelor's in Business Administration, and typically those degrees are not considered STEM. So if it is not STEM, it is not possible for you to stay here 3 years if you ended up having an internship and a co-op. So if it is a BS, it's Bachelor's of Science. Even in management, BS in management will give you the STEM designation. So we do have a BS in business. We have different majors under BS: accounting, finance, innovation and entrepreneurship, management information systems, and also marketing. But any of these areas you look at, which is typical for other schools, what we do is technology focus. So even if you're taking marketing, we do marketing, with marketing analytics. We do have a faculty who is interested in reviews. So he's doing analytics in text, like language analytics. So it's a very amazingly interesting new areas. Marketing is not how it used to be. You do take programming, coding in these classes as well. It's just because, social media, you have to follow the trends, so you have to be technically savvy. So any area that you come in the business school, it is technology and the business concept wrapped around it. The one that is starting that I recommend to many of you, because the job opportunities are plenty, is the Bachelor's of Science in FinTech. So financial technology is amazingly growing fast, and a lot of the financial institutes are converging from, traditional applications of finance to a FinTech platform. So if you are using your apps to transfer money, we have one over here called Venmo. So Venmo is FinTech. Combining the technology with financial services that allows you to transfer money within seconds is amazingly complicated, sophisticated process if you look at the background of it, and it needs a lot of people and knowledge, but they made it possible now. So finance is very regulated, by the way. So moving money from one place to the next, back in the days, used to take like a couple weeks, but now it's happening within seconds, as soon as you hit the button. So don't take all of these conveniences for granted, but these are new jobs out there. So the job perspectives change significantly, skills change significantly. So don't go to a traditional program that has no technology teaching in it. You will not find a job. You will not find a job in Turkey. You will not find a job in United States, because everybody is in need of skills-based education, and the skills are around technology. You have to have an understanding of technology. One thing that I want to mention is that students, when they come to our bachelor's program, in their second year, they can tell us that they want to continue to master's program. So we have BS MS and BS MBA. What that means is that we will allow you, which is very interestingly, different from other schools, because we believe in our good students, that we will allow you to take graduate classes, paying the undergraduate fee during your undergraduate, education. So that means you can actually, in your third year, can take a master's degree, master's course that you can use towards your master's. So your master's is going to be shorter. I know that some of you have interest in engineering, in computing. So engineering is a little difficult because engineering has a lot of, specialties. But if you're thinking of computer science, business and computer science work very closely here at NJIT. You can get a business degree and be able to take a whole bunch of your electives from the computing science. So if you cannot get into a computer engineering program or a computer science, you can actually get into a business school, but do quite a bit of, computer-related courses like data mining, artificial intelligence. We have a whole bunch of database courses. There are quite a bit of data science programming courses that count towards our degree, especially like FinTech. Excuse me, as well as, it can actually, carries you over to your graduate program as well. So if you want to stay longer, you can apply for a PhD in business data science. It is a combination of computer science and business program. We offer it, but it is an interdisciplinary. So there's a lot of the courses that you will take from different parts in the campus. Okay, so few things about financials, right? Let's go back to financials. So we do give, if you were to be an American student, there would be like around, you know, quite a bit of, I would say the total amount of financial support we provide is like around $3.5 million every year, only to my school, the management school. So some of these are available to American students because it is what we call, you know, federal government support to the students. So it comes from the US government and you're not eligible for that. But we do have, you know, scholarships even as you are coming in, you know, as a prospective student that we use towards you. So what that means is, and you wouldn't know how much we will be able to provide financial support unless you apply. So that's the only problem we have, is that many students think that, you know, oh, you know, that they won't be given us, you know, I won't be eligible for this and that anyway, so I'm not going to apply. I will go with the cheaper school. Don't ever do that. So you never know, even if it says $55,000, when you apply, we look at you and your credentials and we send you a letter, right? You will get a letter from the admission says, hi, Ahmed, you know, we're very happy to have you here. Here is the deal. For every student, we send a deal. We say, you have great credentials, so we are going to support your education by giving you a $10,000 every year towards your education. So for the next 4 years, so that might be total of $40,000. So actually, a lot of our students get some kind of a support in that format at the very first time you receive your admission letter. And then you know what we do. So towards the end, if we have any money left, we go around and go through the admitted students and say, well, we have some money left. We couldn't give it to you as much, but we can put another $2,000 every year. That makes it another $8,000. So we try to allocate as much money, whatever we have, to our students to make it affordable. So although it says 55, in the end of the day, it might end up you having to pay 35, and that might be comparable to, you know, an admission tuition to many of the schools below us that you thought that you can go and afford, but now that offer for, you know, better school is available to you. But again, you know, don't think that everybody coming here is coming with $55,000 requirements. So there's so many things behind the scene, but we have to look at you. If you have to apply. You have to apply, show what you have, so that we can go ahead and, you know, look at you and provide what financial support we can provide to you. Once you become a student in NJIT, and especially if you're coming to my program, then we have scholarships. It's around $77,000 for undergraduate last year I allocated to students. So these are some support that will help you, maybe your living expenses, maybe it will pay for your dorms. But we usually have, we usually give around $1,500 to $3,500 per, you know, student for maybe 6-7 students in the undergraduate. We have a similar situation with the graduate program, similar amount of monies. That's every year that I distribute to students in Martin Tuckman School of Management to help them out. So there are those kind of supports also available that can help you out. The other thing that I recommend is that many of our students find, you know, work opportunities, student worker opportunities on campus. So you have to apply for jobs on campus which you are eligible, obviously, up to 20 hours, be able to work here and earn money. Typically hourly, the minimum hourly rate here, these are regulated by state, is $11 an hour. So you can be a lab assistant, just making sure that the lab is run properly, which we just hired somebody from Pakistan. He's an international student. He's keeping an eye on our labs. So they start with 11. Few, months later, if they're going to continue with us, they can get an opportunity to earn more. We can give them, $12, $13 an hour. Some of the higher areas, like if you are good with marketing, design, and you're helping us in the office, then it goes up to $15 an hour. And then you can do, other, scholarships that might fit to your situation. You can apply. So there are those kind of opportunities available. It's very hard to find a job when you're a student. You're actually with F1 visa. You cannot work full time. So this is what is available to you during the education. When you have an internship and co-op, obviously the companies, pay you. So that kind of takes care of a lot of the issues. So we do have International Center who helps students with a lot of these questions. And we do have a lot of the career events that we do. Some of them are very focused. One good thing is that most of our alumni stay here in this region because this is a very populated region. New York itself is like Istanbul. And we are one train station away from Manhattan. So our students can actually find opportunities in New York. Being so close there is a huge benefit. But you have to be active. A lot of my international students come and all they do is studying. So please don't do that. You just have to invest in yourself different ways. Attend events, shake hands, meet with people. That's 90% of finding a job, I have to say. If you are around doing things, showing your leadership skills, showing your talent, people will notice it, I promise you. Many times my students, they study, they hang out with their Turkish friends, and then they go back home because there's not much they do here to take advantage of the region. So where we locate is a big deal. We are right, the busiest and the richest part of United States. New York is the richest, right? The number of, companies that are available here is amazing. The number of headquarters. But they're not going to be welcoming you. Come and, we'll be happy. You just have to find a way to get in. So you have to try that. You have time. You have to have the courage and self-confidence to be able to do that. So we help, but again, it's also self-encouragement to be able to create the opportunities for you. Technology will give you all sorts of resources available to know what's going on. There are these free seminars that happens in New York. Go check it out. In New Jersey, we have all pharmaceutical companies, if that's your interest in this being in sciences. So you need to look to see who is here and what they are doing, how you can be, in their radar as a student. Everybody loves to have students around. They like to talk to them. And we do a lot of activities too. We take students to, New York very often. We were, before the pandemic, we went to UN for a sustainability conference with students. We were at, New York Stock Exchange. We went to, these are the things you see on TV. So this is just, around, they do, allow us to be able to get to the certain section of it and see what's actually going on with the stock market. New York Federal Reserve is right here. We had a seminar we attended. It was amazing because that really shows you the American economy and where we are and what's happening from the experts with the PhDs, in economics. But I have to say, even Federal Reserve was talking about the skill set needing more of technology, understanding, econ and technology. So they're always asking, do you guys teach technology in your business courses? Because that's the knowledge we need. So I'm just mentioning this because this is really your future. This is where the businesses are going to be moving forward. So Burçe, how much more time I have?
Oya Hanım, aslında süremizin sonuna geldik. Dilerseniz soru cevap kısmına geçebiliriz.
Tamam.
Çok soru var çünkü questions kısmında.
Sure. And Türkçe is fine. So how do we do this? They ask me or we read questions?
Questions kısmında yazılı olarak sorular yer alıyor. Türkçe ve İngilizce olarak sorulmuş. Türkçe yanıtlayabilirseniz tabii ki daha anlaşılır olabilecektir.
Tamam. Bu admission question'ları, yani hani GPA'min ne olması lazım falan. Onlar onların detaylarını website'den bakın. Ve de there is no strict low and high, ama buradakilerin anlayabileceği şekilde present olursa daha iyi olur. Çünkü Türkiye'de bazen scale'lar different oluyor. Hani translation'da problem çıkıp mesela Türkiye'de 2.3 3 üzerinden olduğunu unutursanız, so they might understand it as another good GPA. So just make sure that the translations and documentations are exactly the way the admission ones. Somil, do you have anything to add in terms of, because the question is like, what's the average high school GPA? How do you go about it? I don't think that there is a strict rule there, because we look at the whole package.
Right. Generally we're looking for a B average, a 3.0 out of 4.0. But as Dean Tuchel said, we look at the whole thing. So as long as you're close to it, just definitely apply. And if you have further questions, details, please feel free to email me. I've put my contact. More than happy to answer any questions you have.
So regarding the test scores, so this year is a really good year to get into a good school, I have to say, because many of us are making SAT and GMAT, GRE waived. So we will look at your application and also the scholarship without looking at your SAT, okay? So eğer high school'da GPA'niz iyiyse ve de başka yaptığınız aktiviteleri, referans letter'larınız iyiyse, admission letter'ı SAT skoruna bakmadan gidecek ve de orada as I mentioned before, you might get financial support not based on your SAT but based on your GPA, your reference letters, and anything else that you send us that shows how good you are. I don't know about waiving TOEFL. So TOEFL has equivalent.
I can answer that.
Yes. So Somil?
Yeah. So if you're a graduate student? No, unfortunately. So the TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo score is required. If you're a freshman applying starting fall 2021, as we were mentioning, SAT is optional. However, if you don't take the SAT, then you do need to submit one of those English proficiency if you didn't receive at least a 500 plus on the reading, writing on the SAT. So unfortunately, one of those is required. It's part of when you're being issued the I-20 government document is, English requirement met for the university's standards. So yes, it is required.
Yes, so SAT and ACT are not required this time around. It's just not going to be taken into consideration during the application. So you can get admit based on your GPA matters this year.
Yeah, and your science and math classes.
Say it again.
And the science and math classes.
Yeah, they'll look at like how good because if you're applying to a science area like biology, you should have a good science, and your science teacher should give you a reference. So that's how we are convinced that you're a good science. Actually, in Turkey, our quantitative areas are very strong, I have to say.
Exactly.
Really, like you can really shine over here. So we do have certificates, I have to say. These are university certificates. This certificate thing got so bombarded with options, right? So Google gives you a certificate. I really warn you about those. So it's just not making too much of a difference in job perspectives, because what happens is the difference, right? Some of these certificates tell you, like, go click on this, open this, and then enter this number. This is what you will see. Okay, you passed this stage. Go ahead and do the other click, and then enter. Oh, you passed this stage. Okay, now you have a certificate. So that doesn't mean you are learning what you are doing. That's not so I really want you to understand that you have to be the user. You have to be the person configuring the technology. You have to have an understanding of that technology. That has to be deep dive, so that you exactly know the meaning of that number, how you are putting that whole, spreadsheet together, and what these numbers mean by reporting it, right? So visualizing it and reporting it and understanding it. So I can type, if somebody tells me to type something in geology, not understanding anything, just because I typed it correctly doesn't mean, I know it. And some, unfortunately, certificates are very shallow in terms of what they teach. So please, the universities are being checked over and over and over again in terms of how we teach and what we teach. So we teach the knowledge, the understanding, the way it's supposed to be. So it might take a little longer time. It's not a quick fix, but that teaches you the fundamentals, that gives you opportunity to move from cybersecurity to database to understanding of the issues with cloud. So it is really, that's why I recommend you to look at the university certificates. We do have certificates in our computing college. We do have certificates related to business. We have business analytics certificate. It's a short 12 credit certificate programs, as well as the same with the computing. We have a cybersecurity certificate in psychology in here. Isn't it very interesting? Because we all know that the psychology factor is huge in terms of the security of the sites and how you can influence people. So that includes a people factor. But we do have them. If you go to our website and type in NJIT website certificates, you will find 2-page long certificates available to you. And you will get a university certificate certified by NJIT. Okay, so let me look through other questions. So how expensive is Newark? So Newark is not New York, okay? So New York is a station away from us, which is the, the biggest city in New York State. So we are Newark, N-E-W-A-R-K, and I live in Newark. I actually, excuse me, live right across from the school. So this is a developing city. It's not, crowded. We have Rutgers has dental and medical school in here. We are in here. There are a couple, university hospitals in here. So it is cheaper compared to New York. I can tell you, for example, students rent a place. They usually share. I mean, over here is a lot of the students share an apartment. So you might be paying around $800 for the rent. I would say between $600 to $800. And the food expenses may be, $90 a week, I would say, for every week, depending on what you do. But you can go to the supermarket, get fresh fruits and vegetables, and that can take care of you. Other than that, they have excellent transportation. That's what makes a big difference. You do not need a car. So we have, the train comes right to our campus, right in front of our campus. There are train stations, and that's a network. So like Istanbul, get on it, then you can go wherever you want. You can just go to New York, change it there, and hop onto another train without coming out of the, station. Go to Washington, D.C. if you want. Go to Boston if you want. You can, Newark Airport is a 10-minute drive from here. It's one station from my apartment where I am that has non-stop connections to Istanbul. It's amazingly, nicely designed. Big cities are like that. Being in a big city, and the ticket prices are $2.50 to get to New York, Manhattan. Within Newark, this area, we have what we call light rail. It's like 60 cents. So that gives you an idea about, about the expenses you might have. You probably need to sign up for a health insurance here. It's important. But other than that, let me know what else you have in mind. So Samil, SAT optional is for fall 2020-21. What about 2022? Do we have any promises about waiving SAT for 2022?
So as of right now, fall 2021 and spring 2022, it's optional. We can't say after that what it will be, but at least for that one academic year, it will be. Hopefully afterwards as well.
But undergraduates, you should be applying for fall 2021.
Anyway, yeah.
So that's the right now we are recruiting for that group to come is fall 2021. But I have to say for graduates, it's totally different. Okay, you can come in anytime, right? Fall, you can apply. You can come in the spring. You can even come for the summer classes. So the graduate students, that application this year, whole year, spring 2021, summer 2021, and fall 2021, GMAT and GRE are waived. If you are within the top.
I apologize. I have another presentation that started 5 minutes ago, so I have to run. But
okay.
Thank you all again. And any questions, please do feel free to email me.
Okay, I can stay a little longer, Burcu. Do you let me stay a little longer to answer other questions?
Evet, hızlıca aslında birçok farklı soru var. Benzer sorular da var. Yanıtlayabilirsek birçoğunu iyi olacaktır.
Okay, so we do have a 2+2 program with a Turkish university, Istanbul Technical University Electrical Engineering program has a 2+2 with the electrical engineering, here at NJIT. And the great thing is that, you will get 2 degrees, right? One from NJIT and one from Istanbul Technical University, but you will only attend 2 years in Istanbul Technical and then come here and attend 2 years here. So you will actually get a 4-year degree by attending only 2 years of NJIT. So that's really a good deal. Ali Bey, who coordinates this effort, we have over 25 students right now at the computer science, at the electrical engineering, that we have Turkish students attending now. So that I suggest look at the website. That's a really good deal if electrical engineering is an area that you wanted to pursue. Okay. So the scholarships for graduate programs is pretty much similar, really. You apply as you're coming in, we look at you and offer you some money. The amount of money we offer is less than the undergraduate, I have to say, because the undergraduate is a 4-year program. So, that's why we focus on trying to support them more. Graduate level, a master's degree, you can do it easily in 1 year. You can do it, fall, spring, and summer and be done, especially if you are coming as a full-time student. And we still provide scholarships as coming in. And also I do have, if you're coming to MBA or Master of Science in Management, then we can, we also have scholarships that we give throughout the year as a separate, you apply and then we pick students. So those are usually, again, the ones that I mentioned, $1,500 to $3,500, range, that scholarship we give to students. The Master of Science program in management is STEM. The most popular, concentration is financial technology. But we do have, what I call like custom option. So some of your electives, again, you can shop around and say, I want to take a couple computer classes as an elective, although I'm in MS in management, we accept that. So because we just wanted to make sure that we meet the, what your goals are. So those are easy for us, that we can allow you to go take something from somewhere else, from another college, and you still use it towards your degree in MBA or MS. So the entry requirements to NJIT is similar, although I have to say business school has always been, much more willing to accept students, average students, compared to some other programs like engineering. So the engineering program is a little bit more selective, but business school, we believe that, we do give students an opportunity to, give it a try. If you're an average student, a B student, you still have a chance here to be accepted, a good chance, I would say, to be accepted. And you know what we do? We work very hard to get you to the, highest possible place that we can get you to. So I suggest do not be, worried about whether you will get in or not. Just apply and let us do the work. So you don't say that they won't accept me. How do you know? It all depends on who else is applying, and it depends on the situation. And we do allow students to shine here, although they might not be as good as high school students. As you know, there are so many success stories of businessmen and women out there who were not good students, but then they shined later on. They found their interest, and you guys are growing up. Like how you are in your 17, 18-year-old is not the same when you are in your 20s. So, so obviously we do know these changes that are taking place, and happy to give you that opportunity. So let me look through what else is here. Okay, I think most of these questions are related to scholarships and financial support. I think I try to explain it as much as I can. Okay, is there any other? So the full scholarship is, the question is there a full scholarship? So the full scholarship is only if you're accepted to an honors program. But I think most honors programs are supported by states. So those all go to, American students here. So even if you might be getting a good support, there will be some portion you have to pay. And this is all financials, right? We look at, what we can afford and help everybody some ways, and like share the burden. Again, it's the quality of education, and it's the value of education. So where do you see yourself, getting a good education that takes you to a good starting salary? That's a good investment. So look at it as an investment. And when you are buying a house, do you buy the cheapest house in the middle of nowhere? Think about what you can do with that house if you want to sell it. See, does it have a resale value? If you have a house in Istanbul you know, in any shape and form, you could still make a lot of money. It's the location, right? For real estate, you know, there is a value to everything that you do, and you know, you invest, but knowing that you will get more out of it later on. So that's how you should look at your education. All right, I think I did pretty much go. One thing that, you know, we do. So I'm really hoping that you guys take your English proficiency. There are a couple different options we accept. If you look at the admissions page, Somil is usually good with that. But other than TOEFL, there's another test that especially Asian students take that we are accepting. English sufficiency is important because you need to communicate. We have still face-to-face classes here on campus, although we have, you know, COVID requirements, where the pandemic requirements that you have to keep your distance. We redid the whole classroom settings. We put a whole bunch of cameras, but we do have at least 1,200 students are on campus taking classes. We give options to students to, you know, dial in if they wanted to, but if they wanted to come here face to face, we did allow that to happen as well. So we do have, and it's good success story. Knock on wood, since we started in September, we do not have COVID cases. We take it seriously. We have amazing students. They do what is needed. So we do not have any of these university problems where there is a breakout. I know it just happens, right? Like it's not, but we have very responsible students. They do what we ask them to do. We do regularly testing every day. Every day there is a group being asked to go get tested. So like around 400 students are being tested regularly who come to campus. So we managed it amazing. Like I was, happily surprised. But, you know, I'm in the office, I don't have a mask, but we wear masks, we keep our distance. I mean, the, hand sanitizer, the wipes, they're all in here. So and hopefully, by the time you come to campus, we are all fully on board and here, classes face to face. And, you'll get a chance to mingle with the American students and, learn the culture. It's very important that you should learn the culture and have a good experience. Okay, I think, Burça, I'm pretty much done with the questions. Again, I did send you my email. Please don't hesitate to connect with me. If you connect with me through LinkedIn, you'll see what things we are doing throughout the year. I post a lot of our activities there, so you'll get a feeling of what we are doing. It's good that way, and you will also be part of my network. And I do have a very large, network here that has a lot of businesses, and alumni connected with me. So you will get a chance to be able to connect with them as well.
Okay.
So I'll stop here. Sorry for technical difficulties. I mean, I feel bad about it. This is a technical school, but this presentation things on WebEx is always like that. That's Cisco, I have to say. We love Cisco, but like any other, is this Cisco, Burça? Did we dial in with Cisco, or did we do, what did we do? Zoom? Is this Zoom?
No, this Livestorm. It's another platform.
Next time, let's do WebEx.
Oya Hanım, çok teşekkür ederiz. Sunumda bir teknik arıza, sıkıntı yaşandı fakat gerek kalmadı gibi de aslında birçok bilgiyi çok iyi bir şekilde paylaştınız. Çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Somil toplantısı nedeniyle aramızdan erken ayrıldı. Ancak ona da çok teşekkür etmek istiyorum ben. Sağladığınız bilgiler çok faydalıydı. Soruların da birçoğunu yanıtladığınız çok fazla soru geldi. Çok teşekkürler tekrar. Kapatmadan önce paylaşmak istediğiniz bir şey var mı?
Ben teşekkür ederim. Keşke yüz yüze öğrencileri görebilsem. İnşallah sizi burada görürüm. Dediğim gibi eğer bir sorunuz olursa yardım etmeye çalışırım. Kontak kurun ve de what I want to say is that get involved, be involved, don't wait things to show up in front of you. Many times they don't, so you have to look and seek for it. So that's the way to go these days. So thank you so much. This was a great event. I hope we'll do it again. I'll be happy to do it anytime. Get to see the students hopefully one day. But have a great evening, everyone. We still have a day to go, but
Biz de çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Umarız ilerleyen süreçte yüz yüze görüşmeler de gerçekleştirebiliriz.
Ben de inşallah.
Burada ağırlamaktan da çok mutlu oluruz sizi. IEFT Talks webinarlarında sizi ağırlamak bir keyifti. Çok teşekkür ediyoruz sunumunuz ve paylaştığınız bilgiler için. İyi günler diliyorum. Çok sağ olun tekrar.
İyi günler. Hoşça kalın. Herkese bye.
İyi günler.